So, you found yourself in a position where you can't tell if the world around you is real. It feels like you're looking at your hands and they're somebody else's. Like you're looking through a glass into the world and your body is disconnected from your mind. Like you're a separate entity. You look in the mirror and you cannot recognize the person that you see. These are all common symptoms of depersonalization and derealization. Now, what is depersonalization and what is derealization? Depersonalization is the feeling of being disconnected from one's body and not recognizing yourself. For example, when in this state, you will look at a mirror and you will not recognize the person that you see in a mirror. You'll cognitively know that this is you, but it will look and appear as a complete stranger. Derealization is the experience of feeling like the world around you is fake. The closest thing I can compare it to is imagine you woke up from a long nap and you're still kind of in that half awake, half asleep type of mind state. And you look at the world and it feels like you're still dreaming. Like you can't tell if you're awake, if you're asleep, what's going on. When these symptoms first started arising for me, I did not know what was going on. So I immediately began to panic and freak out. I couldn't talk to anybody because I felt like if I did, they would think that I was going crazy because I'd never heard of anyone going through an experience like this. So I started looking all out the internet, trying to figure out what is wrong with me. I was looking up things like, why do I feel disconnected from my body? Why does it feel like there's someone else in the mirror? Why does it feel like the world is fake? Will this ever end? Am I stuck? Is this psychosis? What's going on? Is my brain fried? I had no idea what was going on. And the way that it happened was I was just in a store and out of nowhere, I started just experiencing real anxiety. And I'd never felt this before in my life. It was as if the world just became almost like a movie and I was outside of it looking in. And I just want to let you know, if you're going through this, I know the pain. I've been through this and I know the pain. I know how scary it is. I know how uncomfortable it is. I know how just terrifying it is to feel like you're a stranger to your own body. I've been through this and I know your pain. I just want to tell you, you will live. You're not going to die. Just breathe. You're going to be okay. Now, when it comes to understanding what it is, because it can be kind of a hard thing to wrap your head around when you're in such a panic state, it's hard to think clearly and try to process what's going on. So the best way that I can describe it would be your body is going through a nervous breakdown based off of previous experiences or traumas that it's went through. And trauma is not something that is currently happening. Trauma is the brain's response to pain, damage, hurt, abandonment, all sorts of things. There's all sorts of things that stem into trauma. Abuse, I can go on and on. There's a lot of different things. The brain cannot realize that this pain has passed, so it's in a continual state of panic and self-protection. It's either trying to fight, flight, as in leave, and that's where you have a very disconnected feeling. You start to become disconnected from the emotions and the things that you feel. And then there's freeze, and that's the part of the brain that completely locks up and it feels like you're outside, like the world is not tangible to you. That is the derealization side of it. So when it comes to trying to work through this, I discovered that the more that I tried to figure out a solution, I would go hours and hours into different subreddits and Quoras just trying to find answers. I would stay up late at night looking up different techniques. How do I get out of this? I spent all of my time just trying to figure out, how do I get out of this terrifying mental state? And it really crippled my life. It really crippled my life. And the more that I tried to harness it and control it and try to figure out how to get over it, the more anxiety I started to experience, the more hopeless I would feel, because I was just thinking to myself, I'm trying all these different things and nothing is working. So now the question is, how do I get out of this? The first thing that you have to understand is that this is a symptom of a deeper problem. Anxiety is a symptom of something else. Depersonalization is a symptom of something else. It is not a solo standing issue. It stems from something else. So you have to begin to look and really analyze your past, different hurts, different things. If you feel that there is any disconnection in your mind when it comes to a certain event in your life, look deeper into that. There could be something there that is stopping you from being able to express those emotions. There could be things that you have dealt with that you do not know how to process or mentally compute. There may be certain traumas that engraved certain things into your identity that over the course of just the years growing up, you completely just accepted as a fact, and they started to sink in and destroy you. I would really, really just advise that you just spend some time alone. Give yourself the freedom to experience those memories. Remember those memories, even though they may be painful, because if we never experience them and you never go through them, they will always be something that will be latched, and there will be a hook that will continuously be dragging you back. I think the biggest thing, if I could tell anyone that's struggling with this, the biggest thing is realize that this is outside of your control. Forgive yourself for anything you may have done. Give up the pain, give up the anxiety, and give up all of the control that you were trying to have, as hard as that sounds. And trust me, I know how hard that is. But give that up just to God. Because if it was not for God, I do not know if I could have gone through this. I know that it is scary. I know it is uncomfortable. I know there are times where you may just be feeling like, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm stuck in this forever. My mind has become the captor of my body. I have no more control over my mind. But as a matter of fact, you do. By the power of Christ, through the renewal of your mind, Jesus has given you that freedom to be able to take every thought captive and have a renewed mind. There is peace that you will not understand, that only comes from giving it up and giving it to Him. Now, I don't want to sound too religious. I don't want to feel like I'm pushing anything on you. This is just what happened to me and how I was able to release those traumas that were giving this depersonalization and this derealization power inside my mind. I just sympathize with you again because I know how painful it is. I know how scary it is. I know how alone you can feel during this time. Just keep looking forward. Just keep your head up. Just keep going, because depression is a liar and suicide is not an option. Suicide is not an option. We're not ending ourselves. You're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. Just believe that there is hope. I know it can be very hard. I went through the same exact thing. I completely gave up all hope. But I'm here today, and I can look at my hands and recognize them as my own. I can look at the world, and I can hear the birds, and I can actually feel like I'm part of my body again. I actually feel like I am here. I am present. I am peaceful. I don't have those crazy thoughts running through my mind anymore. Those thoughts of just, maybe I'm in psychosis, maybe aliens came down and took me away and now I'm living in some kind of weird alternate universe, or maybe this is like some kind of weird form of hell on earth. Trust me, all of those thoughts are lies. They are not true. You are okay and you will be fine. So guys, just keep your head up, please. Please. God bless.